Yes, fight fans. This is Body and Mind Sports. Welcome to another episode of Boxing Talk. And today I will be talking about, or rather, looking at a speculative bout. One that, everybody has been talking about. Boxing fans, the media, promoters have all been smacking their lips about this potential fight between none other than one of the faces of boxing, CANELO Alvarez, and the number one pound for pound fighters in the world, Terence Bud Crawford. But before I go deeper into conversation, I would like to say that following the recent bout between Crawford and Majumov in Riyadh season, some people, including promoters and fans alike, are now completely writing off Crawford's chances and opting to conclude that Canelo is just way too strong, too big and way too powerful for Crawford if they were to face in a fight. Well, I'm not one of those people, and here are my reasons. In the Majumov fight, Crawford, I see Majumov to possess, what seems to me obviously the bigger fighter, real strong, real sturdy, real durable, a real 154 pounder. But apart from aggressively walking Crawford down, his physical advantages really didn't play a part in this fight. Not too much anyway. For me, Crawford was just too elusive with his lateral movement and footwork, and proved to possess respectable size, strength, and power himself, especially on the inside where he was able to dominate the fight and let off real powerful combination punches both to the body and head, and managing to hurt Majumov a few times in that fight. And I never actually saw Crawford get hurt at all. He controlled the fight, put Majumov on the back foot whenever he wanted, and I didn't see Crawford, even attempt to clinch in that fight. So he didn't initiate any clinching at all in that fight. I believe Crawford may have got the KO if Majumov was more active and let his hands go, because that would have left him open to more counters, which is the reason why I believe he was more reserved in that fight. And this KO could may well have happened, especially in the championship rounds, where Majumov was really, for me, showing small signs of fatigue if you look very carefully, and if there were any clinching, Majumov, who is supposedly the bigger fighter, stronger fighter, was the one found wanting to clinch. So that leads me to say that Majumov was clearly feeling Crawford's strength and power in that ring. So now the glaring question, I believe some of you might be interested to get an answer to, is will Crawford be able to carry his obvious strength and durability up 2 weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez? And if they do fight, would that be effective against Canelo? The short and straight answer to that is that I don't truly know. But one thing I do understand is that Crawford is very, very elusive in his footwork and ability to slip attacks. Canelo himself does possess good defense. However, he does suffer with closing the gap against swift-footed fighters. And one big example of this will be Canelo's bout against Eris Landilara, where he was often found wanting, reaching and lunging in order to close the distance. You know, on Lara, and often got himself out of balance in that fight. You know, and to me, if Canelo does that, he would be playing right into Crawford's style and often what is his game plan as a prolific and excellent counter combination puncher and a brilliant boxer who has, to me, much better footwork and much power behind his counters than Lara does. So I believe Canelo may make the same mistakes if him and Crawford were to fight, and if he does, Crawford would make him suffer dearly and will make him pay. Also, in my opinion, Crawford has much more tools in his arsenal than Canelo, whilst Canelo might be the bigger fighter. Canelo obviously is, possesses the size advantage and may well also possess more power. I don't think his size will be much of a factor in a fight between him and Crawford. Rather, I think Canelo's power would be his best bet to beating Crawford, if I'm honest to you. Both fighters do have very strong mental fortitude. Crawford has, however, does have a longer, what I believe is a stronger jab and reach, but Canelo may well possess a sturdier chin than Crawford. Also, aside from the weight and the girth of Canelo, which he owns very well, Crawford, I think, is slightly taller, and that could well be good for gaining leverage in the clinches, and he may have seen him do, we have seen him do this in other fights. The Sean Porter fight, for example, Sean Porter, who in his amateur career fought a lot closer to Canelo's weight class, Crawford was able to frame around that ring, and even showed to have much greater strength and power than Errol Spence Jr., who everybody was calling for a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Crawford, for me, although he is a notoriously slow starter, he does become more active as the fight builds, especially in the later championship rounds. On the other hand, Canelo fatigues as the fight builds, unless he gets that KO, which I don't think he would get against Crawford. With Crawford's good defense, footwork, ring awareness, ring IQ, ring generalship, and overall his focus and patience. Now, if Crawford is able to KO Canelo, it won't be to the head. Most likely will be to the body, where everybody is more softer to the body. So it won't be to the head against Canelo, because he's proved time and time again that he can take bigger, harder punches than Crawford can deliver. An example of that was when he faced up against Triple G. But at the end of the day, I believe Crawford would come away with the win, and by unanimous decision. Anything less than that, split decision and so forth, I believe that Canelo would be gifted a gift decision. It is a very interesting fight, speculatively. But I think if the fight does happen, it be a good one for the fans to watch, and I think they would buy into it. Although at this particular moment, it doesn't seem to be something that Canelo seems to be entertaining very much. So that is the case unless there's money involved and Canelo can walk away with a huge payday. Yeah. So that concludes my humble opinion on on that matter, and I'll see you next time in